Hello and welcome to the first episode of Rush Rebellion. Fucking great name, right? Came up with it all by myself. It's gonna be basically a big thing about finding what's real and important in your life and fighting for that shit. Because what the fuck else are we doing? What are we gonna do? We gonna sit around and let everything tell us what we should be doing and just like feel like shit all the time, or we gonna choose to feel good? Anyway, today's episode is on modern enlightenment and basically what that means from my perspective, from a 23-year-old's perspective. It's easy. It's actually easy. In a lot of ways. Disclaimer, in a lot of ways. Now, it's also easy for a very specific bunch of people, I would say. I don't know what it's like to be a single parent. I don't know what it's like to even be a parent. Nor do I know what it's like to have a severe disability. So I can't know if that is something that stops you from being able to live this kind of lifestyle that I'm about to explain to you. I'm not sure if those things prevent you from achieving a state of modern enlightenment, if that's what I'm calling it. That's what I'm calling it. I am calling it that, even though I know that enlightenment itself is generally something that you cannot explain. I do not claim to be some type of guru, but I think I will act as a very good pointer to what that is, to what modern enlightenment is. So follow along. Let me know what you think. I'm very interested. And you know what? I fucking want your... This is great. This is good. This is a great point. I want your fucking rebellion against me as well. I want you to challenge what I'm saying. See if this 23-year-old fucking little hippie long-haired boy knows what he's talking about. Spoiler alert, I fucking do. Just kidding. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? So, I'll start with the question. Okay? The question of why do we feel like there is a rush? Why do we feel like there is anxiety around doing all the things that we supposedly want to do? E.g., get a house, e.g., get the business, like start the business, make the game, make the art, sell the art. Why do we feel like we have this fucking pressure on us? Well, I'll talk to you about my experience. I was born in a pretty, I would say, easy life. I was born into basically a white family. I'm 1/4 Japanese, but we never flaunted it or anything like that, and none of us really look that Japanese. Like, I look a bit Japanese, like you can see a bit of ching chong in my eyeballs, but is that racist? Hey, I'm saying it so I can say it, so fuck off. And yeah, no disabilities, no financial hardships, like upper middle class. I was born into this lifestyle, but I have always been in a family that's like very like I guess driven. My sister's a lawyer. My dad ran his own business. My mum, um, I mean, she was full-time mother when I was younger, but now she's got this like fucking big paying government job. And so everyone around me in my family, you know, they're pretty, how does one put it? Organized. They've got their fucking life, you know, sorted, as people would say. Hey Fraser. Yep, nighttime stream, man. Tried to set the vibes up with the candle stuff. Actually didn't try, I fucking succeeded. So anyway, I was born into a pretty cruisy life, but also like lots of influences around me that are like, you know, they're doing things for himself. And so in my life, I always find that, you know, so the things that I'm doing right now is I'm making a game, I am making a podcast, I am doing all these different things, right, to set up my career from most people's eyes. Often I feel this feeling like I'm actually, even though I'm getting up basically every day and doing pretty good amount of work on getting these things to the surface, putting these things out there, I'm finding I still feel this feeling of pressure. This feeling like I can't spend a really long amount of time making something as perfect as I want it because I'm running out of time. People are getting ahead of me. What if someone else releases this before I do? I woke up one day and I watched this boy on YouTube, Brian Withers, right? He's amazing, by the way. Go and check that boy out. He's got some crazy shit that will help you a lot. Anyway, I woke up and I watched this video from this guy and I looked at my life and I was like, what the fuck? I'm worried about running out of time. Fucking 23. Holy shit, please don't fall. I'm fucking 23. Also, who says I'm running out of time? Hang on a second. Even if I was 70, who the fuck says I'm running out of time? And what does that mean? So, yeah, kind of spurred me on to go on a little bit of a journey. And I invite you to on that same journey now with me. To discover why you feel like that. Why do you feel like you can't spend a long amount of time perfecting something? Why do you feel like you have to do this and this and this and this and that and that and that and that and this and this and that, and you waking up is not enough? Why do you feel like you're not enough? You are the most complex, perfect embodiment of nature, and you feel like you're not enough. Do you think the fucking grasshopper thinks he's not enough? Mans is just hopping. Mans is just hopping, and like, I don't know, what do grasshoppers do? Fight fucking other Oh no, that's praying mantis. Praying mantis knows he's good enough. Anyway, moving on. How do we solve this? Well, I think it's important for us to first address what enlightenment has been. What does it mean to be enlightened in like the classic sense? I know that when I first think of enlightenment, I think of like the monk on a mountaintop. I think of a monk on a fucking mountaintop, and I think that that dude has no attachments to anything. He's just like content with living off the land and sitting on his mountain and drinking his tea and being. That's like the classic way of looking at it. I also think enlightenment is one of those things where you can't really define it. You can't really define that experience. It's like people can point you in the direction of how to get there, but until you really grasp it, it's hard to define. It's almost impossible. It's actually impossible to define. It's like, you know, oh yeah, define the taste of fucking yellow. or explain what yellow is to a blind person, you know? It's like that type of thing. But modern enlightenment, I think there's a pretty good pointer as to both what that feels like and what that looks like. And honestly, I'm living that now. I am living that now. So, I'll explain to you what that looks like. I also want to point out, like, just because I'm embodying that, it doesn't mean that I don't shift in and out of that. And it also doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone. Or I'm more advanced or more far ahead than anyone. It doesn't work like that. It's just like this feels good. And it consistently feels good. So I'm going to share it with you now. Now, I think modern enlightenment, instead of the monk on the mountaintop, because, you know, we've got everything these days. We've got all of our stuff. We've got all of our methods to make ourselves as efficient as possible. We've got all the food we could ever ask for. We've got all the comforts that we could ever need and all the wisdom from AI. Like, we can solve anything now. We can do anything. Yet we have this fucking overwhelming feeling of disappointment, disapproval, not being enough. Modern enlightenment isn't sitting on a mountaintop. You don't have to do that to achieve it. Modern enlightenment is saying no to the rush. So, when I say the rush, I think you know what I mean. Amazing. Are you following so far, Fraser? I'm going to have to edit this out in the final cut. Tell me if I'm... Yeah, okay, awesome. Alright. So, modern enlightenment is saying no to the rush. right? Saying no to the feeling of like, okay, I've got to do more. I've got to get this done by then. Otherwise, I am not worthy. That doesn't make fucking sense. First of all. But what makes us feel like that? You were born into a society that makes you feel like that. You were born into this ridiculous culture that is constantly spewing up content, whether it's new products, whether it's literally like video content or media or whatever, photos, art, anything. We're spewing it as fast as we can fucking make it. We're churning it out, and it doesn't mean anything. But we're taught to make as much of that as possible so that we can make as much money as possible so that we can prepare for this, prepare for that, buy this or buy that. You've got to get the house, you've got to get the fucking car, you've got to make sure your kids have got all the fucking new toys and, you know, but what about me living by the beach, and what about me fucking having the new speaker or the new guitar, or I mean, new guitar's pretty fucking nice, I have to say, but you know what I mean. This constant, just like sneaky pressure that sneaks its way into, even if you think that you're gonna live a holistic lifestyle, even if you're doing something like fucking past life trauma healing, or like holding spiritual gatherings of any kind, I bet even those people feel like they're not doing enough. Probably a lot of them, maybe not all of them, but probably a lot of them feel like they're not doing enough. So how can it penetrate someone that's spiritual? I know it's happened to me many times. It still happens to me every day. Even though I've come to the realizations that I've come to, I still am faced with this. And from people around me too, like my mum. If you see my last stream, I think it was my last stream, my last memories, memes, and reflections stream, I talked about how my mum came up to me one day and she was like, Jord, you've got to get more work. It happens to me every day still. So how can someone who has that knowledge, who lives this embodied lifestyle, still sometimes be caught out by the societal pressure to perform? Well, it's in your fucking DNA. It is sneakily threaded through almost every single thing that motivates you. Hence why they say in lots of Buddhist things to basically evacuate your desires. Because at the root of all of our suffering is our attachment to being something or being someone, or showing up and being the greatest alive, being the richest alive, being able to buy this, being able to have all of this material stuff. And you know, there's a certain amount of that that's fucking great. But I think that we've been conditioned to search for more than we actually need to. Hence why we feel this way. So, what am I saying? I'm saying the amount of things that you have grown up that are telling you that you have to accumulate X amount of stuff. Like even just being able to pay for insurance and pay for your bills and buy the house so you've got an investment property later. All of that stuff is leading you to feel all this stress. Wait, I think my point was that it's just like so sneaky that it could even sneak its way, that all of that stuff could even sneak its way into things like, spreading, like healing people, holding gatherings to look after people. Sorry, I have a story. I have a quick story to segue, maybe. Fraser, is this still making sense? I'm like checking in with Fraser because Fraser gives good feedback, and just tell me if I'm looping. Okay. I know I keep coming away, but it's because I go off on fat tangents, and I'm doing my best to not tangent too far off track. This is my like 5th podcast ever, so just making sure that I'm not tangenting off too far. Okay, cool. A little bit, it's still good. Okay. I'm going to summarize it real quick. The gist of what I'm saying is that our conditioning runs so deep to get so much, to get this and that, that we might not even see it, even though we think we're doing good things for ourselves, even though we think that we're doing something that's like really good for us, or whatever. It actually might not be good, and it might just be that conditioning weaving its way in there. So let me think of an example that I apply in my own life. Controversial one. Insurance. Car insurance. How fucking well do you do to protect yourself from crashing your car? How much are you paying for insurance? How much stress does that cause you? Some people might, and there will be different answers. Some people might say, hey, that's such a small expense. Some people might have like a really expensive car and might be prone to crashing more often. Actually, that's a shit example. Fuck. Damn it. Okay, well, shit. I guess it is a live stream, but fuck. I thought I was onto something there. All of my validity just like flew out of the window because it was a shit example. Maybe I'll loop back to this. Maybe I'll loop back to that. Point is, your conditioning is sneaky, and we've really got to keep that in the back of our mind. So, what do we become when we let our conditioning influence us in such a heavy way? What do we become? What do we become when we're scared or unhappy for most of the time that we spend each day? Or just like even slightly dissatisfied. Like let's we have a board, okay? Balancing board. Here's your happiness. Here's your sadness. Even if you're like this is sadness, right? I don't actually remember which one was which. But okay, let's say this one's your sadness. Even if we're like this. Actually, this is peace. This is peace, not happiness, okay? Peace versus dissatisfaction. Even if we're slightly like this. Why? First of all, why? Who says we have to live like that? And what fucking life do they live? And what validity do they have? They came out of the same pussy that everyone else did. Alright? They had the same amount of shit on them that every other kid did when they were born, okay? Mums do a little poo sometimes on their kids when they're born, I think. Someone confirm that, please. Everyone had that little bit of shit on them. Alright? So, who's telling you that you have to live that way? First of all, okay? Now, what happens when we let ourselves continuously live that way every single day? Well, you do it, and you do it, and you do it. Things in your life come and go. But the whole time, you're a bit afraid that they're going to go. And then all of a sudden, you look at the clock and it's fucking 2075 and you can't do anything anymore and you just lived your whole life like slightly unsatisfied. Does that make sense to you? That's what happens. That's what has happened so many fucking times. Look around. People get to the end of their life and look back and say, oh God, I'm about to fucking die. And what did I just do? I worked for fucking Jared. And Jared was a cunt. Fuck Jared, bro. Fuck anyone that you are, working for like your life purpose. If you're using Jared as a stepping stone, go for your life. But like, if Jared's like, if you're sucking Jared's nuts to get to the next level of, what the fuck do people do these days? Corporate, whatever. The toilet paper boss, okay? The boss of the toilet paper company. You're now the manager. And now you're the fucking left hand of the CEO of the toilet company. Good job. But now you're about to die. Now that you're on your deathbed, that's what you did. And you weren't even really that happy about it. And Susan left, okay, your wife left because this is getting real fucked up. Okay, this is like the worst case scenario, alright? But it could happen, okay? Just like, hear me out. Susan fucking left because you're not giving her enough attention, you're spending too many hours at the office, and also when you come home you're fucking miserable and uninspired. And she wants you to take her to dancing. And you were always like, yep, well, I'll take you one day, darling, but I'm just so tired today. And your kids grow up and they say, oh, yeah, to all their friends, they say, yeah, my dad is my dad is, he basically runs the toilet paper company with this dude, Jared, who is his boss. He's so cool. So fucked up. That was such a fucked up way. Like, that is like the worst case scenario, okay? But like, I want you to like look at it and just be like, is that me? Or am I even slightly close to that? That's what happens, okay? That's what we become when we choose to live our life in that state of just like slight dissatisfaction. Now, I think there's this thing that I have, this concept, this way of looking at things, right? And I think it's pretty strong. Like, I feel like it's kind of almost like you can't really argue with it. I don't know if anyone else has said this before. I don't really give a fuck. But there's 3 people, maybe more depending on certain factors, okay? But there's 3 people that matter. And 3 people whose opinions that you should let affect the way that you operate your life. I'll elaborate on this further soon. Your younger self, your older self, and your children. Those 3 people. Those opinions matter. Now, children could be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. You know, I don't know how many fucking kids you want. I don't know if you're a Mormon or some shit and you just gotta pop them out no matter what. Is that what Mormons do? I don't even know. I'm so uneducated. Is that racist? No, I don't think so. I hope not. It's just uninformed. Now, those opinions matter because when you look back on your life from the old perspective, okay, actually no, let's start from the young perspective. When you're young, you have all these dreams, you have all these things, and you never really think about, like, what do I, like, you never really think about it too much, but you have this light idea in your head, like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And the reason why that person's opinion matters, that version of you's opinion matters, is because if you can't say that, what do I want to be when I grow up, is you now, then what the fuck? You just failed yourself. You literally just failed yourself. Sorry. It might be hard to hear. Now keep in mind, I'm no fucking big shot, alright? I'm just starting up this podcast. I'm just starting up my game. I'm releasing it soon. But, you know, I'm no one, okay? I'm just telling you the fucking facts here, okay? I don't think that I'm better than anyone or anything like that. But think about it. If your younger self can't look at you now and say, yo, that guy's fucking sick, man. He's a fucking ninja action hero star. Or whatever you want to be. Then what the fuck? Now, the next one that you've got to worry about is your older self. And this one carries a lot of impact. This one carries, they all kind of carry, I would say, around the same amount of impact, but I would say that this one carries more impact than the last because that one's been and done. Your old self looking back from your deathbed, from the perspective, from the place where you can't do anything else, not including your next life spiritual people, okay? Fuck off. We're talking about this ego that you're in right now. Looking back and saying that your life was wasted doing things that you don't actually like, and which is basically saying that you just bent down on one knee and let people tell you how to live. That's basically what that is saying. Then you are going to die unsatisfied. You are going to die thinking that you could have done more to be more you, to bring more to the world. I mean, whatever, it depends what you want. Okay? Everyone wants different things. Maybe you just wanted to be free. Maybe you just wanted to help more people. Maybe you wanted to fucking start a massive business. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is. But you didn't fucking do it. And you're about to cross the threshold into never being able to do it. So imagine the impact that that's going to have on you. I mean, unless you do a bunch of mushies before you die, when maybe you'll be right then. Maybe mushroom therapy will be so developed then that we don't have to worry about it. It probably is now. I think it is now. But from the perspective of like, okay, you know what? Here's an interesting thing. I say this, I'm not saying this to pressure you to do more. I'm actually saying this from the perspective of someone who is doing much fucking less. I'm doing much less. I don't actually think I am doing less, but from my mum's perspective or my sister's perspective, I could be doing more. In the way of like earning more money, right? My days start, I get up. Most days, I haven't even got any fucking plans for the day. Most days I get up and I'm like, how do I feel right now? Oh, I'm a bit tired. I'm just like gonna raise my vibe a bit. I'm just gonna like, I want to feel good again, so I'm gonna play the guitar. And I'll play that fucking guitar for like, sometimes hours. And then maybe I'll go to the cafe and I'll bring my laptop with me and I'll do some game dev if I feel like it. Or maybe I'll just go to the cafe and do like some journaling. But with all of these with the purpose of like, these are things that I like to do. Some days I don't do anything. Some days I get up and I play the guitar and I just fucking kick back for the rest of the day. Sometimes I engage in a little bit of relaxing, if you know what I mean. And just sit back and eat and watch beautiful. I mean, I do try to make sure that I only watch things that are like masterpieces, like The Boys, or, you know, like really good movies, or, you know, but I love watching things and eating snacks, you know what I mean? And that's like one of my favorite ways to take rest. Some days I just do that. Sometimes I do that for a week. But the thing about it is, I'm finding that choosing to do those things is actually feeding into my ability to do all the other things in my life. It's feeding into my ability to be productive, to do more things that I like. It's like, I will take a week of rest and then I'll have a fucking week of just like non-stop inspiration, creativity, like bam, 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 bam. And it all gets done then. And it's non-linear. It's not this like, oh yeah, I've got to show up every day at this time and do it for this amount of hours and blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I don't know if you can do this if you're a parent, a single parent, or a severely disabled person. I don't know if you can do it then. But my point is, I'm not saying this from the perspective of like, you need to fucking put more pressure on yourself. I'm saying this from the perspective of you need to put less pressure on yourself. In fact, transcend the pressure entirely, because it literally doesn't exist. It's all just in here. Unless you're a parent, single parent, or fucking disabled person. Severely disabled person. Yeah? So, that's the second person, right? The third person, your children. People, person, whatever. That's your fucking legacy. That's the future aspect, I guess. Is it the future aspect? Actually, no, it's not the future aspect. I mean, it's the aspect that I think carries the most weight. That's your fucking spawn. Fraser, you know. You know. Oh, Amarina's here now. Hi, Amarina. That's your fucking spawn. Who do you want, like, what do you want to be in their eyes? I don't think anyone is actively like, yeah, I want to be a junkie. I want my kid to see me as a junkie. Or I want my kid to just see this fucking depressed mess who's working themselves to death to provide for them. Like, they might be able to, like, the kid might be able to say, if you do that, the kid might be able to say, oh, yeah, my fucking parent worked really fucking hard for me. But are they going to say, I want to be like you? Maybe that aspect of you, like really caring. But Dad worked at the fucking toilet paper company. I don't want to be that. Not my dad. If you're coming in late, not my fucking dad. My dad was, I mean, he ran a pool thing, but he was like a chemist and he loved chemistry. So, you know, he lived it. My dad's cool anyway. I want to be like my dad in a lot of ways. But even me, for example, I don't want to be like my mum or my dad. In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways I do. Because they're very good parents and they did a lot for us. But in terms of chasing their dreams, I don't know. I don't think so. Because they're telling me that I should be doing something else most of the time. And yours are probably doing the same for you. So anyway, my point is, your kid's perspective of you is the third thing that you should be worried about. The thing that should inspire you to choose to live a free life. A fucking cool life. The life that you get up every day excited for and just like not feeling like, oh, God, I've got to do so much today. I don't want to go to work for 8 hours. Probably sitting on my ass, looking at a computer screen, doing something that I don't even enjoy. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to go to the gym after that. 3 days a week. I don't fucking like the gym anyway. I know that my kids will see me. And this is not a brag. I mean, maybe, you know what, fuck it is a brag. Because I can brag. But it's not to show that I'm better than anyone. But I know that my kids will look at me and be like, yo, that motherfucker is cool. That motherfucker can backflip. That motherfucker can play guitar and sing and beatbox and do parkour and fucking chuck a corkscrew and fucking draw and... Dude, I could go on and on and on and on and on. And also he did a podcast, and also he did a fucking video editing, and also he fucking got himself out there and fire twirled and all this different shit. And I do all this because I just love it. I do all this because I don't see why I don't see why I have to do anything else. I think acid did that to me. When I was 19, a big acid trip changed my life. Yeah? But it didn't make me fucking mental. It just made me see things for how they really are, which is that we don't need to show up in these ways. We don't need to feel this constant stress. Okay? I've said it 50,000 times, so I don't want to keep saying it over and over again. But fucking hell, we don't have to feel this fucking stress. Anyway, those are the three people. And the way that, like, on a deeper level, like, if we think about it, if we think about what enlightenment is from the perspective of our creator, whatever that is for you, Whatever that is for you. It doesn't have to be something with a personality. It doesn't have to be God on a fucking cloud, sitting on a cloud, an old dude sitting on a cloud. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, but something made us, okay? Something natural, something that just, you know, whatever, if you want to call it the Big Bang, whatever the fuck. Okay, I call it spirit. Do you think that thing made us to feel like slightly unsatisfied every day? Think about it. Leave your answers in the comment section. Do you think that thing made us to feel like we can't do what we want to do every day? Like, why would it do that? Maybe in one, you know, I can almost see that in one light it did do that, but only so that we could break free of it and feel even better. Like that would be the only reason why it actually wanted us to feel this way. But think about it deeply. Should we continuously feel this way? Or once we realize that we shouldn't be feeling that way, why would we continue to have to feel that way? Does it make sense to you that we should do that? I think life exists so that you can become a fucking lion. Of course I do, I'm a fucking Leo. But life exists so that you can be the fucking thing that brings joy to yourself and everyone around you. Brings peace, brings a sense of like completeness and like, oh, wow, look at this. Look at this flame. To do archery or learn how to fucking climb a wall or climb a tree or fucking, or even, you know, you don't have to do that if you want to code. If you want to code, some people fucking love coding. Personally, it's my hell. But I understand the creative aspect of like wanting to code things because I've seen some of the things that people make. Whatever it is, painting. Maybe you just want to hear what it's like to be a fucking amazing guitarist. Or a saxophone. Like how cool. How cool. And like how amazing it can be that you can reach these in crazy like trance states through these different musical instruments. Like that is what life is about. It's not about fucking getting the house, getting the fucking car, or making sure that Sally's got insurance for when she fucking like numbers game, accumulation, having the best clothes, having whatever. I feel like a lot of people are moving past that, but a lot of people are still stuck. And like I said, it can be sneaky. Even achieving things in your career, you know, like why do you want to achieve them? Is it like it might be sneakily because you want to make your mum and dad proud, not really necessarily because you want to be that way. Or various other reasons. Various other things you could achieve. So all I'm saying is that motherfuckers need to look at all the shit they're working towards, particularly if you're feeling empty, particularly if you're feeling like you're not enough, particularly if you're feeling like there's more to life, or like even if you're just feeling like not 100% satisfied with how you're existing. You've got to really weigh up what are you fucking working towards and why? Why does this fucking block, okay, this almost like a cage. It's not like that for all people, okay? I will touch on this in a second. Why is this cage more important than me getting up every day and feeling free to go on a fucking walk? Or Fraser, for example, for you, my friend, why do you feel like you can't perfect your character? Why do you feel like you it's even a problem that you want to spend a really long amount of time making sure that it's fucking perfect in Blender or whatever you're using? I'm assuming it's Blender. Because you feel like you have a time limit? Who set that time limit, man? It's great to be a perfectionist, and we, like, you know, if it's causing you fucking pain, but this is the paradox, right? If it's causing you, like, there's a certain argument going on in my brain that's like, you know, perfectionism can also be detrimental to your progress. But I'm like, Da Vinci spent fucking 15 years on some of his art things, sometimes more, I think. On things sometimes that he didn't even finish, I think. 15 years. Probably on, like, the corner. Where is this? On, like, this edge. Like, say this frame that you're looking at right now is a painting. Da Vinci's probably fucking sitting here for, like, 3 years on this one edge. And you're worried about, like, spending too much time perfecting an entire character. And I'm not like, you know, being like, oh, Fraser, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's because sometimes it can sound like that, but that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just like, I'm pissed off because I'm like, this is what kind of like bullshit we're dealing with now. From probably given to us from, I mean, I think it's given to us from someone that doesn't even give a fuck. You know? Someone that you wouldn't even want to be like anyway told you that you can't sit there for days and days and days and days and work on that character. You're working on it right now. Cool, man. Spend as much fucking time as you want on that character, I say. Because at a certain point, you'll just be like, it's done. And you'll be so happy. Or you won't be happy, or you'll be happy for a while, and then, you know, you'll be like, oh fuck, actually, I want to work on a different design. But then, because you spent all that time perfecting that character, now you have all the skills to make the next character not only faster, but better. So you didn't even lose anyway. All that time that you spent on it actually ended up being fine. And you can apply that to so many things, if you really think about it. So, yeah. I think modern enlightenment is realizing that you don't have to fucking rush this shit, man. And you shouldn't. Because what? You know, what are your kids' names, Fraser? If you don't mind me asking, you actually don't have to put your kids' names on this if you would prefer to keep them anonymous. That is totally fine. Just if you use, like, you could just specify fake names. I just want to use them as an example. Kai and Anna. You know, Kai and Anna are gonna one day see your work. And Amarina, you will resonate with this, I think, if you're still here. Kai and Anna will one day see your work. Jalu will see your work. And, oh shit. I don't know if I just exposed. Anyway, let me know if that's exposing your child, Amarina, sorry. They will see your work, and if you spend hours and hours perfecting something and making it look perfect, they're going to be like, wow, that's fucking sick that my dad did that, or my mum did that. And mum, mum and dad, how long did it take? And you say, dude, it took fucking days. They're like, whoa, that's amazing. I want to be like that. And then we start to instill in our children that it's okay to take things slow, and it's really good for you to make things, to perfect your craft. It's good, and it's satisfying. And then they pass it on to their kids, and then they pass it on to their kids, and then all of a sudden everyone's living fucking happy again. Anyway, fatty tangent. Oh yeah, Jalu is widely known. Okay, I'm off the hook. And he fucking, like, so he should be. Kid's a fucking dynamo. So, in my life, I'm gonna quickly tangent back to myself. But because basically I wanted to touch on like what does it look like for me? Okay, I did a brief synopsis. I wake up and sometimes I'll, do this or that. For my life, I now, every time that I get tired, I just take rest. Doesn't matter if I've got fucking 10 tasks I've got to do. I take rest. Doesn't matter if it's game dev or game dev deadline, whatever. If I'm tired and not feeling that fucking rush of motivation, which I get when I'm, normally I get when I'm approaching a deadline because I'm a fucking mad procrastinator. If I get tired, I will just fucking, whatever work I do from this point anyway is going to be fucking shit or not as good as it could be because I'm outputting from a negative state, from a place that I don't want to be. I'm like, fuck that shit, man. That's not my true work. So I rest. That's what it looks like for me. And it looks like waking up each day with the opportunity for me to just be like, yo, I don't want to do anything today, cunts. Everyone can get fucked. I don't want to say hello to anyone. I want to go into the bush and I want to sit with the trees. Or I want to go for a walk in a field. Or I want to go and find some fucking enhancers and enhance myself for a day. Go picking and enhance myself. You know what I mean. Or get up and be like, yo, my van needs this, so I'm going to go and build that. And yes, and the money aspect, let me touch on that because it's like, oh yeah, well all this is great, but what the fuck am I supposed to do about money? I'm doing this thing called Airtasker, right? I basically what I've done is I've found a fucking way to give myself a free lifestyle whilst pursuing the whilst doing the things that I like to do, make the podcast, make the expression session videos, make my game. I found a way to supplement that still gives me that fucking freedom to do those things each day. There's many different ways. There's many different ways. And if you only take the time to really look and just see how many different ways that you can still live free. You don't have to go to fucking work at a cafe. You don't have to go to work at this or that. You could do whatever the fuck you want to do. And if you want to do those things, that's awesome as well. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, you don't have to do regular roster work. You can choose to still find a way, dropshipping or fucking whatever. Airtask is an easy way out, in my opinion. An easy temporary thing. until everyone sees this video and starts doing Airtasker, and then there's no more jobs left because everyone's charging like $1 an hour. But then there'll be other ways, you know? So that's how I'm earning money. And now that I've gotten myself established with all these different people doing different types of jobs, like literally so many different types of jobs I've done on Airtasker. I've taught people how to speak English. I taught one person how to speak English. I taught someone how to speak English. I did some ads for this company called Tile Rescue, and basically faked it till I made it. Bill, if you're watching, I love you. Bill runs the company. Anyway, I fucking went in there with my phone and I filmed this fucking thing for these dudes and was like basically maximum director mode, and then I edited everything together and sent it off to them just through Airtasker. And it ended up paying me really fucking well and getting me well established with a good portfolio just out of nowhere. And now I'm doing removeless gigs and like all these different things, like fucking fire twirling and like, I mean, I did one fucking fire twirling thing, and then, yeah, anyway, all these different things through Airtasker. There's got to be, my point is that's how I'm making money. Man's going in fatty circles. What else do I do? I have a high focus on maintaining my vibration. I'm tangenting again, kind of. But what that means is I focus only on feeling good. I do all these things because they just make me feel good. And the fucking funny thing that overrules any arguments is that the more that I've been doing things that I love and making myself feel good and just going to things that make me feel good, the more opportunities have opened up for me. So that's what raising your vibration is. It's feeling good. Doing what you want. And what that does is it brings more and more of what you want in. The more you feel good, the more you get. And that's why it's fucking easy. That's why it's fucking easy to achieve modern enlightenment, if you want to call it that. Because all you have to do is what fucking feels good. And what is going to satisfy those 3 people. And part of what satisfies those 3 people is being courageous enough to fucking take rest, even though everyone else is saying you should be doing this or that. To do this or that, even though everyone else is saying that you should do that or this. Okay, I keep using those 2 fucking words for some reason, but you get the point. Being a hero, being your own man or woman or non-binary person, spirit, okay? Being your own fucking fairy, being your own fucking lion, something your kids can be proud of, something young you and old you can both look at and be like, wow, that motherfucker's cool. Nothing else to do. Ain't nothing else to do. Except maybe heal people and bring joy and peace to other people as well. But that doesn't, if you don't want to do that, don't fucking do that. Be selfish. Because if you're doing that out of like, tangent again, if you're doing that out of feeling like you have to, then you're actually not helping anyone. You're helping yourself. But not even in a way that you want to. So you might as well just do something else. Anyway. Modern enlightenment is fucking easy. Just do what you want and make sure that you're gonna be proud of it from you your youngest and oldest self. Make sure your kids are going to be proud of it. That's all. Are you going to teach your kids that they have to take rest? You're going to teach your kids that it's okay to take rest? Or are you going to teach them that you've got to be grind set, mindset, fucking earning this much money, fucking making sure that this and that and that? Would you prefer them to see you live at your own pace, on your own terms? I know that I would. I know that you would too. Fucking hell. Who doesn't want that, okay? If you don't want that, then there is probably something needs to change. I don't know why you feel like that. Why did you have kids? Why did you have kids? You wanted them to be feeling stressed out and shit like you do? Anyway, I'm harping on about it now. But, yeah. So, okay, really quickly, I will go over what you can do to apply this to your own life. And then soon I will come to these beautiful questions and statements and things that everyone has said in the Q&A. Because I'm really excited. I'm like itching. Like so many times I've like looked over and seen how many chats there are from you guys, and I'm literally like pulling myself back. Did you hear that fatty burp, by the way? Ugh. Pulling myself back because I'm so excited. So what do we do? How do we break free? How do we stop feeling like this fucking, this slug, this blob of a person? Or not even this blob, but how do we stop feeling like shit? How do we feel good 90% of the time? I think I have the answer for you. Okay, something for you to try at least. First of all, you need to realize where this mindset has snuck in, where this classic get as much money, grind set mindset has set its way in. Even if you're someone that is spiritual, even if you're someone that is self-growth oriented, or a combination of the two, you really need to look deep at what your goals are and where they're coming from. Do you give a fuck about the house right now, and how much is it stressing you out to get there? Do you give a fuck about... And if yes, oh yeah, that's right, really quickly, looping back around to something that Amarina told me today. Some people come from places where they don't have this level of security. Some people grow up constantly moving, or just living in squalor, or their parents were shit and just like, you know, or their parents were just like flighty and didn't give them much attention, or whatever insecure youth you had, like, because shit was everywhere. Some people crave the stability, so going after a house is perfectly valid. Going after whatever you want is perfectly valid, I just wanted to say. But just, like, make sure it's for the right fucking reasons. So what I was saying was, look at all the things that you're aiming for, and just be like, okay, am I going that because my mum and dad told me that I should do that and they will be proud of me if I get that? If yes, why does that matter to you? Could be valid or it could be invalid, but you need to ask that question. Am I doing this or that because I am preparing for something that may or may not happen? Am I doing this or that because it seems like everyone else is doing it and I probably should? Or am I doing this or that because it's going to bring me so much security and joy, and just like it brings me joy to get there. It brings me joy to even just be working towards it. But just always remember how fucking sneaky it can be. Just like, keep it in the back of your mind. Even when you think that you've found the answer and found like, oh no, it's actually fine. Just like, really, really, really deeply look. And you'll know, because if it brings you joy, and if you know that your older and younger self and your kids are going to see it and be like, yeah, no, that's awesome that you did that, then you have a pretty solid answer, pretty solid framework to operate from. If you find something that you're like, okay, seems necessary, feels like everyone's going to be proud of it, if I achieve it or whatever, like the people that are important. How can I get it and also live at peace? How can I get it and still also take the right amount of rest that I need? How can I get it and maybe and have fun getting it? What can I do to make it easier? For me, it was Airtasker. For me, it could have been working in a cafe or teaching parkour at the PCYC, for example. But I was like, this is going to take away all of my fucking freedom and all of my... because my energy fluctuates so much. Like I could be up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes I just don't want to fucking do stuff, right? I was like, if I go and work at a cafe or go and work at PCYC, I won't have the freedom to just be like, nah, fuck this shit. I want to rest. So I found an alternative. You can do that with most things. You can do that with pretty much everything. And you need to find as many things as you possibly can that you want to do and fill your time up doing all those things. Rest is one of them, don't forget. Okay, it's easy to forget the rest thing. Rest is very, very good. And it could be many different types of rest. Just remember, doom scrolling is not rest. Ever. And you know, I'm all about watching media and eating snacks or whatever. Preferably healthy, but if you have a cheeky snack every now and again, you know, who the fuck cares? But the thing is, like, just make sure your body is, you know, make sure your body feels good as well. That's like part of it. You can take rest in whatever way, but doom scrolling is not rest, was my point. Just in summary, look deeply at all the things you're doing. Take a real hard look at the things that are not bringing you joy, or look at the things that are making you feel numb or even slightly dissatisfied or just completely dissatisfied. Particularly look at those things and just ask yourself, what value is it providing to those three people? My younger self, my deathbed self, and my children. What value does it provide to their perspective of me? And are they proud of me because I'm doing this particular activity? Are they proud of me for being strong and self-directed? Despite even the expectations of society. Like, think about how... Okay, fatty tangent again. Think about how fucking cool it is and how fucking alpha, whatever you want to call it, alright? Think about how fucking badass it is for someone to not even listen to the entire world tell them that they need to live a certain way. And just doing what they want, provided that it makes them happy. Duh. How fucking sick would that be, to tell your kids that you were that? I know, it's gonna be cool for me. Anyway, that's what you can do in your life. And in conclusion, okay, I'm about to do the Q&A now. I wanted to conclude the video just by saying modern enlightenment is fucking easy. Mostly. Because all it takes is for you to be... And you can work it all out on a fucking page. You can even work it all out in your brain if you're if you're like that, I'm not fucking like that. I need a book. I need a book to like get everything down so that I can like come back to it, you know, and see if it was like, if it makes sense. You need to just, it's easy because you just have to be really honest with yourself and be like, why am I doing this? Bing bong bing. I've repeated myself so many times now. Okay, you get why. You get why it's easy. Mostly. I say mostly because sometimes it's hard to be honest with yourself. Sometimes it's like, oh, do I really do that? But it's okay. Because it doesn't fucking matter if it's embarrassing or whatever, because at least you'll be fucking happy once it's done. At least you'll be fucking happy and back on track and like, you know, living the life you want. But it's as easy as getting everything laid out on a table and fucking looking at it and saying, and seeing what is actually important to you, what is actually important to younger, to like does your younger self think that you're cool right now? Does your older self think that you lived a fucking awesome, satisfying life and did everything you could to be as maximally yourself as possible? And do your kids think the same? So just make yourself fucking satisfied, basically. That's all you have to do. And you have to do that against, you have to rise up against the classic paradigm of society, the classic model that everyone else is living. Mostly. You gotta say, fuck you, mum. Fuck you, dad. Fuck you, siblings and friends and everyone who says I've got to do this or that over resting or over spending X amount of time making my fucking art. You're wasting time. You could be fucking getting a trade. That's what my fucking dad said to me once. What are you fucking doing playing guitar by the water, Jordan? Oh, just being happy, Dad. Sorry, I'm just being happy. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna answer the Q&A now. I'm gonna just have a look at everything. And answer you guys. But for the people that are watching this later in the edited version, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope that I provided something of use for you. Tell me if I did. Tell me if you have anything that can be disproved about what I'm saying, because it will help me a lot. Not only to come up with something more useful, but to basically to humble me. Because I feel like what I'm saying is pretty fucking solid, you know? Anyway. I really appreciate you, and I just want everyone to fucking live a life that they're proud of, because I can't think of anything worse. And I have this deep sense of like world empathy for the people that get to the end of their life. I don't want any other person to have to live their life and be fucking sad when they look back on themselves and be like, whoa, fuck. That was kind of shit. Like, you know, when you watch a movie and it's like, oh god, I just wasted 2 hours of my life. Imagine if that's your whole life! So, have a lovely day. Do what you want. Rise up against the motherfuckers telling you that you should be doing anything else except being happy. Except making yourself feel joy. Going out and walking in the woods, or even just getting up and coding, or whatever the fuck you want to do. Don't let a motherfucker tell you, because they're probably not doing what you want to do anyway. I love you, and we'll see you next time. Alright, to the Q&A now, friends. Friends, don't leave Amarina. Holy shit. Okay, fatty things to catch up on. Okay. It's crazy that you were talking about that with Isabella only 2 hours before. Do you think you've started talking about things more now that you've started to like I've kind of started to make you question? This is not a question for my ego, but it's like, you know, it's just interesting to think about. Thank you, by the way. I know you're typing, so I'm like waiting, but yeah. Oh, hey Declan, didn't know you were here, man. I'm glad that you love the energy, dude. Um, okay, so Fraser, I know that you're good at bookmarking things that I say, so I'm going to touch on the other things. But yeah, I was just wondering, if I spurred you on to have that conversation with your wife. Health insurance is a better example. Yeah, true, 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 true. Compared to like car insurance. Actually, I had that similar conversation with someone today, but I fumbled the bag when I was talking about it. Not many have it, but for some it's very important. Yeah, like tradies, for example, I guess need health insurance because, like, what if? Otis said, "Hi Jordan, I finally made it to one of your lives." Fuck yeah, man. Probably not. It'd be funny if he wasn't here now. I don't know if he is. Um, the global average lifespan is 73. Amarina says so. Middle age is not 50; it's 36, and retirement is after 60. Holy shit! Middle age is 36. What the fuck? It ain't even 50. Why do I have this romanticized idea that everyone's gonna live till 100? Fraser, I can see your messages popping up, and I'm so excited to answer them. Like I get so giddy because I'm like, fuck. I just like want to have a conversation with you right now. Otis said for real, and did you know that in the medieval times the life expectancy was 30? Literal 15-year-olds were middle age. Is that why they called it the Middle Ages? Did they call it that? I don't even know if they fucking called it that. Amarin is gonna think I'm so like she's gonna give me so much shit for being a dumb cunt. The thing you said on TikTok still. Fraser says the thing that I said on TikTok still sticks pretty well. Will you be happy with the legacy you leave behind? Yeah, it's fucking it hits you hard, man. Fraser, you are the ancestor of your future generations. Fuck yeah. Airtasker paid for your wedding. Yeah, I remember you saying this. 100 tasks in 4 months is crazy, man. I've been on there for like seven. I've been on there for like 2 years or something. No, no, like a year or something, and I've only done like 30 or 40. But they well paying ones. Used to do uni assignments for programming. Peak COVID Airtasker was insane. I already said law of attraction to something I said in the context of the time, I imagine. DH Vidge. Hi, sup. Hello, friend. Oh, there was 7 people in this one? Fuck yeah, man. That's heaps good. Thanks for catching that one, Fraser. What was this hippie influence on your life? It sounds like both of you or parents are in a fairly different boat. Oh my god, man, there's a long story there. Ain't no hippie influence from my parents. Uh, but some good influences that they had. My dad taught me the value of women. Taught me that women are basically fucking goddesses, which caused some pedestal issues, but that was, that has been dealt with. He taught me to be confident. He taught me to show up and be someone that was just open, I guess. He taught me lots of things about morals. He taught me lots of good things anyway. My mum also taught me to be very sensitive and to also to take care of girls. And many, many, many good things as well. But in terms of hippiness, none. Actually, no, my dad did say a lot about being a free spirit, and he always wanted me to be a free spirit, so I guess that's kind of hippie. Um, kind of just should be everyone, but I mean, like, he was never on my ass about, like, getting assignments done. He was never on my ass about pretty much anything. He only ever wanted me to be strong and to be smart. And that's all he really wants from me now, but I think he gets a bit scared sometimes when he sees me wasting time. But the hippie influence definitely comes from acid when I was 19. That's where most of it comes from. And then this girl I met when I was 20 or 21, she got me onto Eckhart Tolle. Shout out Abby. Yeah. Since that day, I was like very invested in like discovering the depths of like consciousness and different things like that. Yeah, I think we've started talking about life. This is what Fraser says to my question before. We've started talking about life and deeper meanings these past few weeks, but yeah, it could be an influence. Great. I mean, even if I'm not the influence, I'm glad that you're talking about it, man, because I think it's very fun and interesting and deep, especially with your wife. That came out weird. My wife is the polar opposite of you, though. She believes in the grind, but that's why we are so secure. It's like not necessarily that I don't believe in like the grind. Actually, no. I guess it is. I guess it is that. I guess I don't believe in the grind. I don't believe in the like in the grind aspect, like as in it's like grinding your fucking skin away, like metaphorically. I don't believe in that part, but I do believe in like accomplishing everything you want and making sure that you're fucking secure, like getting to a stage of security. I just believe that there's a better way to do it, and I believe that we waste a lot of time feeling bad when we could probably just be feeling good. Um, so yeah, it's not that I don't believe in like um, getting those things. It's just more, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Declan said, "Glad I could catch a bit of the stream before Eli's coming out tonight, man. Would love to know if you ever did consider a trade or anything." Yes! Well, I actually went to the Air Force. I don't know if you knew this, Declan. I went to the Air Force when I was 18 and pulled out very swiftly. No, not 18. 19, I think. I don't remember. Fuck. Because I know that I did acid before. And it changed my whole perspective on the entire fucking world and just like, oh god. I think I told you about it, Declan, how acid, I became the entire fucking universe for eternity, and, um, literally, oh my god, fucking hell, every time I think about it, it just like overwhelms me with this like feeling of like, oh my god. So I was the universe for eternity from start to finish, like as in like from the Big Bang all the way up to the limit of expansion and then sucking back in, to the black hole at the center of our universe. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing, that we have a black hole at the center of our universe. Someone Google that shit and double check. Um, so it's like, yeah, from expand from like expanding to the limit and back, expand to the limit and back, and during that entire period from the start of the universe to the end of the universe, I was every perspective ever, including the perspective of the plants and the trees and the walls and the everything. It's unquantifiable. Like, you can't explain that feeling to someone, but that is what it was. And it was beginning to end, and it wasn't even just beginning to end. It was like beginning to end, as in, like, it would suck backwards. It was like go forwards all the way to the limit of expansion and then suck backwards back into where we came from, and then back out again, and then back in again, and back out and back in. It's like breathing. It was like a heartbeat. And it's very interesting, actually. But I just remember being in it and just being like, oh my god, this is everything now. This is what I'm gonna have to do just forever. And that fucked me up for a while there. But basically, like, I saw every perspective. Like, I saw what it was like to be, and I don't really remember much. You know, my singular human brain can only handle so much. But it was like, I was from the perspective of, like, someone being raped. I was also someone that did the act. I was also Joe Rogan on a jet ski at a certain point, which is very random and specific, because I'd only seen Joe Rogan like a few times before this trip. But I was also a starving African child, and just like all these different, like, random fucking, like, I don't know if it was past lives. From this perspective, it was like I was just all life from beginning to end to beginning to end to beginning to end to beginning to end. And when you do that, when that happens to you when you're 19, I think things can just change. Coming back to regular society, going to the Air Force very swiftly after, I just felt very trapped and just like, why am I here? And I have gone through lots of changes since then. But I think I've reintegrated myself pretty well, in the way that, you know, I still do things for society. I am not just some junkie that, you know, sits in the car park at fucking Coles and scares people. Like I'm sure we've all seen. Acid was my baby for a while, man. You were Acid's baby, dude. Acid was not your baby. Acid had you cradled. Yes, Fraser, there has been progress for Mozentum. I got everything listed out that I need to work on, like I said I would. I sat down with it yesterday and did that. And yeah, pretty much from this point, I'm just like chipping away at these individual aspects. Oh, I love burping on stream. It's like my favorite thing to look back and look at, because I'm like, fucking hell, you bombastic cunt. But yeah, I'm chipping away. We don't know what is at the center because we are moving away from it at a speed we can't even fathom. Could be a black hole, could be a megastar, who knows? Fuck. Is that true? Actually, no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, Fraser. Declan said, Holly what? No, that's now that I have questions. Now that I have questions about, I was very close to doing a career in the services too. Hectic. Yes, we will definitely. I mean, ask away right now if you're here. Fraser said, I actually watched all of the old devlogs the other day. Is the player customization still in? No, it's in the old version. But I do have all of the scripts to make it happen, and I'm using Google Gemini, so I'll probably just make it better. And it will probably be even easier to implement this time. Also, thanks for watching my devlogs, man. Fucking hell. I'm glad that they were entertaining enough that they kept you watching. They're kind of like a bit messy, especially the first few. So yeah, I appreciate you pushing through. But yeah, customization. So basically, what happened, Fraser? The style changes a lot. Yeah, I know. Basically, okay. So the old version of Mozentum. I don't know if I've told you what happened, but it got corrupted when I went back to an. So I was using GitHub to like as my version control, and I went back to an older version because I made like a small change. Oh no! I installed a package. I forget which one it was, but I installed a package, and I'm pretty sure it was a Fimpossible Creations package. You know that guy? Fucking love him. He's amazing. He makes some crazy assets. Do you know him? Fimpossible Creations. He's the guy that like makes the asset that I fucking broke the old version of Mozentum with. Um, anyway, so I installed this package and then I went back to an old version, long story short. And then when I was in this version, some of the files didn't carry over properly, like some of the scripts. But it was like 500 or something different scripts didn't fucking transfer over. And I spent literally like days and days and days and days trying to fix the fucking issue, trying to just go back to an older version, trying to just like, go through and manually do all the scripts, but I couldn't fucking fix it. So I had to start a new version. And that was the most depressing shit I've ever fucking experienced in this art career bullshit. But it's ended up with Mozentum being like more interesting and dynamic than before anyway, so it's fine. It's fucking fine, okay? It's fine. Girthy burp, yeah, I know. Vanboy is probably the best one. I'll have to try that. Dry scoop creatine apple cider vinegar combo. Yes, dude. Fucking oath. You wash that shit, you scoop that shit and you wash it down with apple cider vinegar water. Not just apple cider vinegar. That would be fucking hell. Because that shit burns. Just do like a teaspoon or two of apple cider vinegar in some water and then smash it down. Like smash the creatine down. And it really it cleanses your gut at the same time as giving you that interesting creatine energy boost. Very, very good. How does a trip feel? Says DHVIG. Like I said, it's kind of unquantifiable. You can't really tell someone how something feels. And give you a good understanding of it. But I will. So it's like, have you ever felt slightly uneasy? Like slightly like your life is in danger? Slightly like anything could happen at any time? More the last one. It's more like just a slight feeling of like anything could happen at any time. This is in like light trips, by the way, not in heavy trips. It actually depends. Oh my god, no, there's so many layers, man. There's so many layers to the answer to this question. But basically, depending on what situation you are in, and depending on how respectful you are to the substance that you just took, and this is weird for a lot of people to think about, I know, and very hippy-dippy probably, but if you disrespect the psychedelic substance that you ingest, you will have a bad time most times. If not all times. So let's say for a good trip, let's say you said a quick thank you to whatever substance you took and set an intention. Like, I want to have a really beautiful, enlightening experience. I really want to just have a gentle, kind, nice experience. Please give that to me, but I surrender myself to you. If you say that to the substance, then you'll probably feel really fucking euphoric. Really, like, the world has a sense of, like, magic to it. And things will be kind of, like, wiggly, and it's like this window would be more alive. Like I could feel more of like the window's aliveness. And that is hard to quantify or understand for a lot of people, because it's like, what, it's a fucking window. It's like a fucking rock. Like the rock doesn't have awareness. But, you know, it does. Just go on a deep fucking rabbit hole on YouTube. Type in spirituality rabbit hole, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, you'll feel the aliveness of things more and feel more connected to everything, and just feel this beautiful, like, magical awe, basically. But if you, anyway, yeah, fucking, you don't have to worry about the bad stuff, unless you want to ask. He makes these really cool assets, Fraser. He makes these really cool assets like jiggle bones. Like when you move your character, their animations will like have like realistic springiness to them. Like when I stop my hand, for example, it kind of like overextends and then comes back. And that's what it does, versus like, you know, the hand moves here and robotically. I don't know if that makes fucking sense. I'm like thirsty and hungry. Declan said, okay, so like the screening process would be insane, standards for the Air Force, I'd think. No. No. Anyone can get in. They make it seem like it's fucking hard, and they make it seem like it's this big fucking deal. And I mean, it's challenging, but anyone can fucking do it. They want everyone to do it, because the more people they have doing it, the bigger their fucking army. Like, they want you to be in there, man. And it was hard for me to leave. They made it really fucking hard for me to leave. Like, they wanted me to, oh god, if I get assassinated, okay, you know why. If I'm not alive for a while, it's because the fucking government is. Anyway, I was like in the leaving process, and they were doing everything to like stroke my ego and be like, oh, but you're so strong, and like you did this and that, and like everyone loves you, and like it would just be like, think about this position that you could get yourself into, like how amazing would it be? And yeah, and like, oh, you're so close and all this stuff. I was like, no, I just really want to go. And they make you sit in this like they make you sit in like the easy zone for like 3 weeks or something, or 2 weeks or something like that, before they actually get rid of you. Before they actually like send you on a flight from Wagga to your home. So it's easy to get in. I went on a tangent again, but it's easy to get in. Fraser said, a really good and cost-effective solution is to just build the files to OneDrive, and then every month or so just move them out to another folder so you keep the versions. Yes, that is a fucking genius idea, and I will be doing that from now on. But also, I have been just like uploading my version control to like the cloud. So I don't know, would I still have to do that then? Fraser, you've tripped out before? Holy shit, that's cool, man. I didn't take you for that because I guess you and your wife seem pretty like well established in like the Brisbane, like in like the not workforce, but like the classic way to live, but also like not in a bad way, you know what I mean? My worst trip was just a solid 3 to 4 hour session laying on the floor planning out a drug empire on my bedroom floor, ceiling, on my bedroom floor when I was like 20. Of course it never happened, but I'm sure it was a good plan. I'm sure it was too. Damn it, you should have written it down, dude. Declan Atkins, the feeling of being comfortable being uneasy. Whoa. The feeling of being comfortable being uneasy. I kind of agree with that. If you're feeling good, that is. If you're in the good part of the trip. Do I know about Advaita Vedanta? Let me quickly Google that. I went and just recently did my yoga course. It is definitely like that, and also that has like definitely popped through my brain before. Whether I've heard it or what. It's like a spiritual thing, right, Kay? Like a spiritual guide almost. Just like the Bhagavad Gita and like all of the other sacred texts. Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta, meaning non-dualism or not two, is a school of Hindu philosophy that emphasizes the oneness of the individual soul, or Atman, with the ultimate reality, Brahman. It is one of the 6 orthodox philosophical systems of Indian, or darshans of Indian philosophy. Yeah, I thought so. I thought that that's roughly what it was. In the Upanishads, yes. I had a feeling it was that. Yeah. I mean, non-dualism is kind of like, first of all, it's at the core of many memes. Second of all, it's like when you really dive deep into like spiritual practice, it's kind of at the core of all of them. Like oneness is presence, presence is being in the now, etc., etc. When we had kids, we stopped, but yeah, we used to do a fair bit of MD and the usual weed. Okay, so no acid or like anything or mushies or anything like that. MD's an interesting one, isn't it? Oh my god, am I about to turn into Dakota Wint? I think so. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know, like, fuck it, it's my podcast. I can do what I fucking want. Um, yeah, love me some of that stuff, but you didn't hear it from me. Literally fucking did. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? My favorite? Like the one that scares me the most? Bye, Declan. Love you, man. Say hi to Eli for me. Feel free to stop in with Eli. Is that what you mean, Fraser? Like my the thing that scares me the most? Oh, scares you or is just interesting. Um I mean, like, none of them really scare me because I'm like, once you become aware of them, you can kind of just like avoid them. Or you can't avoid them because, like, what are you gonna do? Because, like, they're fucking impenetrable unless we rise up as an entire world. Um, so in terms of like the most interesting one, I think it's really interesting to think about the fact that they is like also look at how skinny my fucking leg looks right now with this point 0.5 zoom. Oh my god. Bro, that is not what my leg looks like, surely. Fraser, I've got to get back to the fucking gym, man. I actually was supposed to go tonight with my mum, but I got carried away with the stream. I'll see if she still wants to go. I think it's interesting that the government might just be like a bunch of satanic, like at the very top, it's like a bunch of like ritualistic satanic sacrifice, or even just like a bunch of like sacrificing people or sacrificing whatever, for different types of like energy gain, like black magic type shit. You know, you've probably seen all the Satanist stuff. But looking at it from a broader perspective, the energy aspect of like killing people to bring them, to bring about things in your own life, sacrifices. I guess the thing that's kind of does scare me is the fact that like so many of them are probably out there just like doing child trafficking stuff, like the child sex rings and like, you know, all the what was it, fucking Epstein bullshit. Like that's literally like proven, I think. So I'm like, oh god, you know. No, dude, that's not what my leg looks like. Swear to God. I swear. But yeah, to answer your question, Fraser, that is, I guess, my scary one and also my like interesting one. But you know, one of them that pisses me off is the fact that they put shit in the water and put shit in the food, like fluoride. Like, do some research on like what fluoride does to your body, or what BPA's and all that other shit that, you know, the hippies go on about. Like really look into it and just see, like, they're putting shit in the fucking water and the food. And what's stopping them from putting it in the cereal and in all these random ass chemicals that are in everything on the shelves? Even the fruit that we eat has got this pesticide bullshit on it. Like it's the thing is, like, we don't know how much of that is intentional, and some it might not be any, but also it might be everything. Yes, I went and bought cereal. Yes, I went. Yes, I went and bought fucking cereal. And you know what one it was? It was Kellogg's fucking all brand honey almond flavor. Because you know what? Sometimes it's just delicious to have a late night cereal. And I'll eat them government chemicals. I'll eat them shits all day if it means that I can satisfy my existentialism at nighttime. That's gonna make a good TikTok. Oh, Amarina, you're here. This is good. I have a few friends saved from... oh my god, really? I have a few friends saved from child sex rings. What the fuck? That is wild. I bet they're very strong people. Fucking hell. What's the next video? Day in the life? Devlog? Tutorial? The next actual video... I mean, like, if you're not including live, is either going to be an edited version of the pods, or... Day in the life would be interesting, actually, Fraser. My thing with videos is that, oh my god, I just realized. You just pointed something out to me, Fraser. You just pointed out to me that I literally am, like, fucking... I literally am not following my own advice with videos because I'm, like, stressed because they take so long for me to make. I'm, like, afraid of being perfectionistic with them. But if I lean into that perfectionism, then I could make some incredible things. My problem with it was that I was like gonna take too long. So yeah, maybe that's a good challenge for me actually, is to just make a video and just spend as long as I want doing it. But I really like. I think game dev. I think I just really enjoy doing game dev more. I really enjoy doing pods more. But we'll look into it. I'll look into it. It'd be good if I had someone to edit my videos for me in a style that I like. DHVIG says fluoride blocks your pineal gland. It's in your water, toothpaste, everything. Yes, fucking oath, man. Also, toothpaste, bruh. also, I learned this the other day. The showers you take. I learned this actually when I was hanging out with you, Amarina. The showers you take, the water that goes into your skin, fluoride, PFAs, all different types of chemicals. But yeah, pineal gland blocker. Your pineal gland is like your third eye. For all you non-hippie folk, non-chakral folk. And basically consuming it crystallizes it and stops you from being able to. Well, I guess it just blocks the chakra, which has multiple effects, apparently, which is like decreased levels of awareness. Like you're more likely to think, you're more likely to get carried away with your thoughts, more likely to get carried away with your emotions and different things like that. And a bunch of other things. Having one blocked chakra can be very bad for all of your chakras. Skin is your biggest organ, absorbs so much, including the fucking toxic air too. Like, there's so many things. But, like, you know, we can't fucking do anything about it now, unfortunately, unless we want to walk around in fucking hazmat suits or some shit. So you just gotta fucking do it. You just gotta fucking have them showers. And also, what, you're gonna pay all that money for a shower filter? Like, you probably should, and it would be good if you did that. But no one can expect that of anyone, I think. Anyway, please let me know if y'all have any more questions, because otherwise I'm gonna I'm really enjoying answering them, which is why I'm asking you. If anyone has any more questions, please send them. Otherwise, I'm gonna ding dong this stream because I think it's time. Also, for anyone watching this in the future, I'm sorry for all the pauses, and I appreciate you sticking around, being interested enough to be here. I see you, and I appreciate you. Okay. Y'all have 5 fucking seconds to let me know if you're posting a question or not. Otherwise, I'm going. 5, 4, 3. There's like fucking latency as well, so you got even less time. 2, 1, 0. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I really hope no one has like a fatty paragraph. The fact that no one's saying anything makes me think that someone has a fatty paragraph on the horizon. Okay. Oh, Amarina, also, you can edit my videos. Perfect. Thank you very much. And you'll be doing that for free. Anyway, I love you all. And I really appreciate that you have been here with me and have stuck around through some of the quiet parts and all of that stuff. It means the fucking world to me. So, I love you. And I look forward to seeing you the next time I'm here. If you're new, it would be awesome if you stick around or give me some ideas, or give me some feedback. And feel free to send me a message on Instagram or anything like that if you want to ask me anything privately, because I'm here for it. Bye. Oh yeah, don't forget, do what you fucking want. Don't let anyone tell you what to fucking do. Don't waste your fucking time or your life.